Hello, folks. I'm working on an LG model 65UH5500. Where the situation is where the TV, when you power it up, it boots up, but then you see the LG logo for a brief second, then it powers back down. So in this case, I just want to demonstrate what that situation is, but I have the TV laying on its front side, so you won't be able to see exactly what it is, but you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to apply power to the TV. Okay, so I got the cover off the back, so you're going to see this is what it looks like without the cover on. So I've already troubleshot this down to the root cause what the failure was. But you'll see on the back side, if you're looking at, and the front side, obviously, it's going to be your left-hand side of your TV. You have this LED that's on, and that's where the actual manual switch is at. So I'm going to use the remote, which you see right here, to power it on. So I power it on, and you see that this LED just stays solid on, and nothing happens to the TV. But what I'm going to do is power down the TV one more time so I can demonstrate what happens on the back side of the TV. Okay, so I reapplied power, and you see the LED's back, it's functional, and you see all these control boards where you see the power supply here, and then this is the actual control board. It's got the microprocessor on it and all that good stuff. But this is what happens if you have the back cover off and this problem exists where it boots up and then just shuts right back down. So I'm going to turn the remote back on, and you're going to see how it functions on the back side. Okay, so it did that. You saw a LED go on to the control board, and then it shut right back down again. So I'm not going to show the front side of the TV just to save time, but you know what I mean. You see, it looks like it's getting ready to power up, but then it shuts right back down. So I'm going to move on to the next step here. Okay, so I just killed power of the TV just to reset everything. I mean, when I went through the first troubleshooting, you would see that, there's a lot of electrolytic capacitors on here, some diodes. There's a lot of components you can check out, which is where I started. I actually suspected it was the power supply at first, but after troubleshooting, it was a little bit, more in depth than that. But everything checked out good. I mean, if you're competent, somebody's comfortable with working with electronics, then you can go ahead and check those. You can do them passively with power off. You can check these voltages right here, which I did, and the board actually displays it for you. In a healthy condition, and this label right here on this power supply board actually corresponds to this connector. So if you're looking at, let's say the top where it says 60 volts, that top pin right there on the very top of J4 would correspond to that label 60 volts. So you'd see that going all the way down, and there's a standby, and the actual wire in question here was this fail wire. So obviously the TV was going into some kind of shutdown mode, so I didn't see anything online about what was going on about this TV or any help to fix the problem. So I was getting ready to junk this thing, but I thought, why not just cut that wire and check it out? So what I'm going to do, you saw the symptoms of what happens with it, but since I've already fixed the problem, you see that there is a jumper wire right here that I've actually installed again so I could recreate the situation where the wire was in a healthy state and not cut. So what I'm going to do is pull that wire. So I pulled it. So this is what I did. I ended up cutting that wire right here, which corresponds to the fail wire. So you got to make sure it's actually the red wire just below the black wire right there. And goes to this like signal conditioning card and all that stuff. It obviously supplies, looks like power to the LEDs, backlight LEDs and things like that. You know, and eventually all this voltage gets all the way over to the control card, has the microprocessor. So I'm going to go ahead and apply power. And with this scenario where I cut that wire, and I'm going to turn the remote on again, you're going to see, well, I didn't apply power yet, so let's check this out again. So, all right, the LED's back on. I'm going to put the remote. I'm going to press the power button. You're going to see the LED come on full. It's going to boot up normally like it usually does. So you see the LEDs are the backlight LEDs, these real bright ones there. I really suspect that this was the actual root cause of the problem, because I had the brightness set up on the TV all the way to 100%. And I'm not sure if this control board or the firmware or what's going on with LG and how they do their model lineup, but it's possible that that 100% brightness draws too much current and sends a fail signal back to the switch mode power supplies, and it scales back the voltage to a lower level and goes back into a shutdown standby mode, like I demonstrated earlier. So that's the fix of this thing. You can see I got a nice picture and everything. So I tested this for a good day or so. Everything's working fine, but I do caution you, proceed at your own risk. This is a root cause thing that fixed my problem. It seems to work for me, but just be safe when you're working with electricity, and hope this solves your problem. Thanks.